Are we going to see two J-10s coming to the Chinese tech tree? Well, maybe. Hello guys, once again it's Matt. Thank you all the members and patrons. Make sure to subscribe. And as you saw in the latest leaks that we had from the Chinese leaker, two J-10s were mentioned in there. A normal J-10 and a J-10A. And some sources are claiming that we might actually see two J-10s coming up. I just gotta say that it's unlikely, you know, and it's very, very unlikely, I gotta say. But, I mean, maybe, right? If that is the case, and if it's not a maybe and it's a real thing, what those J-10s would be, you know. Of course, the J-10A, we already talked a little bit about it. It would be the first proper full service J-10 that we would see, right? It would use the AL-31F, you know, the normal Su-27 Raider. And of course, you could use the PL-12 missile that we have in other aircraft, carrying up to 6 of those. And of course, the PL-11, of course, and PL-8s and other missiles like that as well. Overall, it would be 6 missiles in general, okay? So it would be maybe a normal loadout would be 2 PL-8s and 4 PL-12s or PL-11s, but probably the 12, right? That would be the main thing about the J-10A, right? And what would these early J-10 look like? Well, that's the thing. It would be pretty much the same. It would use the same engine. It would use basically the same radar. You know, it wouldn't be too different, but it would be an early prototype out of it. The main difference between the two of them would be, of course, the skins and stuff, but mainly the missiles. Instead of being able to carry the PL-12, it would only carry the PL-11, which is the Ajude missile, right? So it would be a much lower in BR aircraft, right? The funny part is that I kind of don't get it if they add two of them where they would actually be, because that's the thing. Apparently, if we get two J-10s, we're gonna get 4 Chinese aircraft according to the leaks, right? It would be the JF-17, the Thunder, as an event vehicle in the future, or squadron vehicle actually, right? Something like that. The JH-7 as an earlier model than what we have in the game with the A, being a premium. And then the J-10 and the J-10A. But where would the J-10 be? Like, go, right? It's a fighter. Don't expect this thing to actually be a good multi-role aircraft, especially the first one. So, I mean, although later models can actually take guided stuff, I would think that we would probably see it being in the fighter line of the Chinese tech tree, and then it would be in the middle between maybe the J-8F and the J-11, right? Or the first one at least, right? And the second one maybe between the J-11 and the J-11A, or maybe after the J-11A. Either way, it doesn't make much sense, so it's kind of weird where we can actually expect something like these aircraft, right? So the question is, should we actually receive two J-10s like this? Do we even deserve to do the grind just to get a normal other aircraft that can actually be the same but just with PL-12s, right? Honestly, it has a place in the game. With the decompression in BR, we will have these kind of middle high tiers that are going to receive very good missiles or be very good in performance, but lack a little bit here and there that they are not going to be a top tier. The clear example of this is the 12.7s of the Soviet tech tree, for example, the Yak-141 and the MiG-29. They have amazing BVR missiles, amazing performance, but they do not have any R-73s or any Fox 3 missiles, so they cannot be a fully fledged top tier aircraft, but they are right up there, almost there. Another examples are the F-16As, for example, with the Block 10 and Block 15 that are 12.7, 13.0, stuff like that. The F-15A, right? The F-14B. So the J-10A would probably be that, an aircraft that is on many regards a 4.5 generation in performance. It would be one of the best turning aircraft in the game, together with an incredible, powerful engine for such a small and light aircraft. But not having too many great missiles. Of course, the PL-8 would be still very competitive, and of course, I mean, better than an R60M, better than maybe even an M9L, depending on the situation. But at the same time, on the BVR side of things, you would only carry the PL-11, which is a kind of a limited missile, right? As you know, it's not a very good missile, to be honest. In the J-8B, it is a missile that lacks a lot in range, and of course with that radar that aircraft uses, it becomes even harder to actually use such an aircraft, right? So at the end of the day, it would be an aircraft that has the performance, has the IR missiles, but in the radar guided missiles, it would be really, really bad. So it has a place in the game. It really does. It would be, what, a 13.0, something like that, right? So almost a top tier, but not really. Honestly, in my opinion, this aircraft would be perfect as an event vehicle or like something like that, right? Or maybe a squadron vehicle or something. But apparently, we are receiving other things as that. So maybe if this is a correct leak, you know, which tends to be, the J-10 will be in the tech tree together with the J-10A shortly afterwards. Maybe, I mean, there's always the possibility that we might see another version and that it's just misspelled there, or that he copied two J-10s. That's the funny part about these leaks. We don't know exactly. He copied the OSA AKM on the leak and the OSA AK 2 times. So it might be that the J-10 and then J-10A is just a misspelling, and we are gonna get just the J-10A, which is the service aircraft, right? It would make a lot more sense. But again, there are some sources like Zabi, for example, that think that this might be that we are going to receive two J-10s, right? Another thing would be that we would receive another version of the J-10, you know, not the early J-10 without designation. It would be maybe the J-10AH or J-10S. The AH would be, for example, the naval version out of that, and of course the S would be the dual-seater, right? So it could be something like that, maybe with different air-to-surface missiles, maybe a different way of landing and stuff. So the J-10AH, I mean, could be added, I don't know, as in a different tech tree or something, like sub-tree, you know, as a naval aircraft. I don't know, something like that. It would be kind of crazy. So I wouldn't expect anything out of it. I would just expect the J-10A, but it is fun to actually wonder a little bit about and think about if we're gonna get actually something like two J-10s. And if that's the case, this is going to be one of the biggest patches for top tier China that we ever had, right? So let me know in the comments what you think about we receiving two J-10s and technically 4 Chinese top tier aircraft or close to top tier aircraft. And yeah, I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, and bye guys. See you.